Welcome back to Bomber's Workshop, and thanks so much for joining me. It's time to have a look at the super heavy-duty roof basket and integrated winching system that I've mentioned in the other Ultimate Hunting Buggy videos. If you haven't had a chance to look at those videos yet, then please do. There'll be a link in the description below, as well as on the end screen. So this customer came to me wanting his Sidekick to be set up for hunting. He wanted it set up not just for hunting, but also for recovering and transporting large game. So I set my mind to figuring out a strong, versatile, and reliable system to do that. I wanted the system to be comprised of components that are available on my website as production pieces already, in combination with a custom roof rack that was specific to this application. I've decided to focus this video on an overview of the system itself rather than a build, but I have included the installation portion, so let's get started with that. And the first thing to do when installing a roof rack for me is to modify my hoist. I add these little Y-pipe stands on there that I can then install long tubes onto, like you see me do here. And then I'll have, we'll put some foam on there to protect the roof rack, and then I'll have the guys bring the roof basket over and place it on the tubes and hoist it up above the vehicle, and of course back the vehicle underneath. Very handy having a hoist for this kind of work, I can tell you. And then we position it roughly, get some stands in the rear, and that way we can remove the tube. Reason for that is because the tube would be in the way of the ladders that are used to support the rear of the roof basket. You can see us lifting the stands up there to get the height correct and bolting the first ladder in place. And then Sean will go and grab the second ladder, and I'll bolt that one into place while Darren supports the back of the rack. And then we get some foam in between the ladder and the body just to protect it from scratching in case there's any lateral movement while we position the rack just right, and then we bolt it up. Get those ladders all bolted up and secure, and then we move on to our front supports. And to do that, we've got to get the rack again at exactly the right height, which we're doing here. And then we bring in a front support, pop that into place, and bolt it up, and other side's already in. Now we're doing the windshield crossbar, get that bolted up, and we can now finish securing the front supports here, and then we'll be able to remove the tube that was supporting the roof rack temporarily. Get everything, all our bolts in place rather, and then we can secure everything with an air impact, making sure that all our bolts are torqued nice and tight. And that is what you'll see me do here in just a moment. It's great having some friends by for support with this install. It's a very heavy duty roof rack, and it is not light and not easy to manipulate on one's own, so the help is definitely appreciated. The end of the day has arrived, and the beers are being cracked because the Suzuki is all together. The Ultimate Hunting Buggy is done. Super crazy roof rack with front supports that extend down to the rock sliders, a windshield brace bar, rear ladders on both sides, and then the rack itself is rated for 1,000 pounds. It's got a 1,000-pound V roller on the front there. You'll see what that's all about in a minute. Other slider, obviously, other ladder, and then at the back it's got a 24-inch conveyor roller, the roof rack does, and again you'll find out all about that in a minute. Rear swing out bumper with tire carrier and dual jerry can holders, and it's got my rattle-free cam lock style latch. And in addition to that, we've got a fuel tank skid plate. So super complete hunting buggy, really killer vehicle. You really can't beat it. These Sidekicks are small enough to get down trails that side-by-sides go down. So they're really comparable to a side-by-side, except that you've obviously got tremendously more cargo carrying capacity. You stay warm and dry and comfortable. Rather than being basically out in the elements like you are with a side-by-side. And really, by the time these things are totally outfitted, you're not into them for any more money than you are with a brand new side-by-side that's got a bunch of additions. So in my opinion, as a hunting buggy, these are about as good as you're gonna get, especially once you've outfitted them like this.
So let's change out this license plate holder for the winch cradle. Again, the receiver access is up in behind the bumper, so that's why there's access holes in the skid plate here. So I just pull my pin, license plate slides out, and there we are. Now, generally speaking, the winches that I recommend for these are 4,500 pound winches, which only weigh about 30 pounds. With the winch cradle as well, that you're up to about 50 pounds, so it's really quite easy for one person to handle. Not a problem at all, and it's enough winching power to get one of these things out in a bind, and it's enough winching power for winching game up onto the to the vehicle as well in most cases. The customer in this case decided to go super heavy duty. He's got a 12,500 pound winch, so it's considerably heavy. So you're about to see me struggle trying to put this thing in. Here we are. And there you are. So really not that bad actually. And that's pinned in place. The wiring isn't complete on this yet, but we're going to set up a quick disconnect on the front bumper as well as the rear for this winch so that he can run the rear front or back. But the main point that he's going to use it for, other than recovery, is he's going to use it for winching his animals up onto the roof rack. So let's have a look at how he'll do that. Obviously, he'll put his winch into the free spool mode, which will allow him to withdraw his cable and bring it straight out and up and around this V-roller. It's then going to travel up past the windshield and through this next V-roller. The winch cable will then pass over the roof rack and over the rear roller, 24-inch wide conveyor roller, and down to the back of the vehicle. Now, what the customer will do is he'll open the back of the vehicle up and he'll winch the animal up over that roller and into the basket. I'll turn the vehicle around for better light. I'll put the camera back on a tripod and I'll open the back up to give a quick demonstration of exactly how that's going to work. So let's go over that winching procedure again for getting an animal or hunted game up into this basket. Sorry for the wind noise, guys. I will invest in a better camera and get a microphone with a windsock and all that stuff, but it's not happening quite yet. So again, let's start at the front. What you see on the ground over here is my license plate holder. The license plate is obscured right now. That fits into your standard 2-inch receiver, as you can easily see. And what has replaced it right now is this giant winch cradle with a 12,500 pound winch on it and a V-roller on the front. And again, the idea being, once the hunter has got his animal, he's going to pull the winch cable out through the front of the fair lead, up and around this V-roller, up over the windshield to this V-roller, through the V-roller and over the rack, all the way over the 24-inch wide conveyor roller at the back here. And then what he's going to do, I'll put this camera in a tripod. Then what he's going to do is he's going to go ahead and open up the back of the vehicle. It locks itself into 90 degrees automatically. Then he'll take that winch cable, he'll pull it down. He'll take a tree saver strap, which is about a 3-foot long nylon webbing strap, and he'll put that around the animal up under its arms, put the loops together, put the winch hook through that, and then go ahead with his winch control and winch the animal up into the basket over this 24-inch wide heavy-duty conveyor roller. That'll support 600 pounds on its own, and I don't expect there's going to be any single point at which more than 600 pounds is ever going to need to be supported on that, even with a moose, because it's going to be dressed before it gets winched into the basket. And by dressed, I don't mean they're going to put a suit on it. I mean it'll be gutted and so forth. So there you go. That's the way the roof rack works. You can see the rear bumper with the swing out tailgate. We've gone over that. Really super solid latch on it, totally vibration free. This also comes with a 2-inch receiver, of course, which the winch can also go into. We'll have a quick hookup for the electrics on that, just underneath the bumper there eventually. That's got to be done yet. Again, really slick setup. The roof rack includes bunch of tie down points all the way around, and what you can't see right now are that on every side there's 4 different light tabs, so you can put auxiliary lighting all around this thing as well, and it's got an expanded steel floor. I'll take the camera off the tripod and give you a better look. So if you have a look here, you can see the expanded steel floor. Some people refer to that as a mesh, but technically it's called expanded steel. But anyway, that gives you a great surface to stand on to support all the things you're going to put in there, be it game or objects. And it's you can tie down to it with bungee cords or small ratchet straps virtually anywhere. Again, a bunch of light mounting tabs, tie down point, light mount tab, tie down point, light mount tab, all the way around this thing. You can see that we've used 3/8 grade 8 hardware on all of our connections, except where we've used 1/2 inch, like in this case. Super strong stuff. Everything either goes all the way through the tubes, or it's got a welded bung. In the case of this, there's a welded bung inside of the bumper that's threading into. Super complete vehicle. Very, very happy with this build. The rack is very rigid. I'd like to get a couple of guys up in there and moving around so that you can see just how strong it is, but I don't have anybody available right now, so I guess I'll just get up in there and do a little dance and show you how strong it is. Shake it around a bit. I apologize for not having more weight up there. I wish I could get 3 or 4 guys, because this thing can definitely handle it, and that's what it's designed for. Designed for people to sit up there and hunt and party, and also of course designed to carry tons of cargo as well as an animal. So let's have a quick walk up that ladder. Not bad. So lateral movement is what I was afraid of with the basket. It runs really close to the windows, but in fact it's absolutely dead solid. I have no worries about tons of weight being put in this thing, and it being absolutely secure. Really, really happy with it in every regard. Very solid, very awesome, very happy. Thanks very much for joining me on this journey to prepare an ultimate hunting buggy. I think we've done a wonderful job with it. I'm really proud, really happy with it. And again, thanks so much for your views. If you want to drop a like, it's always appreciated. If you want to make a comment, that'd be great. I'd love to know what you think about this, and let me know if there's something else you'd like to see specifically. Really appreciate it again. Check out my Facebook page, Balmer Fab on Facebook. You can check out balmerfab.com, my website, and otherwise we'll see you again real soon.